So, excuse my appearance. I've been outside working all evening. Um, there's a couple of thoughts here. One, train your dog slowly, gradually increase the difficulty, um, rather than making it difficult and then backpedaling. And I agree with this. I do. I think you should make it gradually easier on the dog so that they can always be successful. And it's always just, it's stimulating, but it's not frustrating for them. And I think that's important. And if you want them to grasp a certain concept, you need to put it in a way they can understand it. And that's what a good friend of mine had taught me one time was you got to think like a dog. You got to put yourself in the dog's mind. And they just don't process stuff the same way we do. So it's important to when you're training, and let's just take your drags for example. You don't put them on a 400-yard drag with a ton of tight turns and you don't age it right away. I mean, you work up to that stuff. So I just want to clarify what I was doing with the water drill when I challenged Achilles the other day and with the drag when I challenged him today. I had worked up to those things. I was convinced he could do those things. So when I say challenge the dog, I'm not suggesting you take the dog beyond what they're capable of doing, but you are taking them to another step. So all these things that we had practiced, were coming together, and so I was challenging him because I was bringing it all together and then making a difficult scenario for him with the lessons he's already learned. Now, some of it tripped him up a little bit, and so I find out what those weak points are, and then I backpedal a little bit, and we make sure and we hash out those things before we go try to, do this extensive drill again. So, absolutely, you should definitely teach your dog, little steps at a time and build up to these intense, difficult lessons or these difficult scenarios rather. But then you find something that's not coming together. Okay, so maybe they didn't really learn it. You need to go back and revisit it. And that's why it's important to go to new areas, have strangers next to you. You're doing rabbit drags, change it up. Get yourself a pheasant and do it. Dog may start eating the pheasant. Get you, instead of doing duck drags, do a pigeon drag or something. Change it up, and it makes it exciting for them too. So you're challenging the dog, you're stimulating them, you're keeping it exciting, you're keeping it fresh, but you're adding levels of difficulty, and and as you change up the scenarios, you go to new locations, you do a different distance, you do more twists and turns, you go with the wind rather than into the wind. Or you catch a crosswind and then you turn away and you go downwind with it. You can make all these changes, and it challenges the dog. So at some point you're going to find things that just for whatever reason the dog didn't quite get it for one reason or another. And so you go back and revisit those things and then work back up to it again. they have to understand the basic concepts of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, or it's not all going to come together. And so lay the foundation, do the baby steps, and then as you overlay, one lesson on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, gradually, when you present a challenging scenario, as I did this week with water and with a drag, I found some things that, tripped him up a little bit. So we're going to go back and work on them. And within a matter of 2 days, the water issue was fixed. It just came together beautifully. Not a problem. I just made it a little bit easier on him. And I may have pushed him too hard, if I'm going to be honest. I probably didn't need to put him on as wide and expansive water as I did that first day when he did get tripped up. Just going back to a narrower area seemed to, just kind of solidify in his mind exactly what he missed. And then, today we did it again, but on a little bit wider area, and he got it. No big deal. So I'm going to do the same thing with the drag. So I just wanted to kind of clarify, don't make it too difficult for your dog until they understand the basic lessons. That is important, and it's something I should have mentioned in the previous 2 challenging your dog videos, but I just didn't think about it. So keep that in mind, and have fun training your dog.